today I'm bringing you video number 2 for the Ravens potential draft needs. In this particular video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the last two positions that I think the Ravens will be looking at based off of their draft needs. It'll be the linebacker position and the safety position. Some people speculate that it may be an outside linebacker. Some people speculate that it may be an inside linebacker. Some people may speculate that it may be a free safety. It may be a strong safety. So with that being said, I think the Ravens will kind of look for a player that can do both. It won't be kind of limited because, as you guys know, we basically, we draft players that can do multiple things. We kind of don't want to have a limitation right out the gate when it comes down to picking a player. So as you can see over the course of the Ravens history, a player like Jimmy Smith stands out. He can go cornerback, he can go play a little bit of safety if need be, and then depending on who we playing, he can go in the box as well. Now it doesn't happen often, but it can happen depending on what kind of injuries we have and so forth and so on. All right, so at any time in this video, if you guys got any kind of questions or anything like that, feel free to comment below. I'm gonna get an email for this channel, so I'll put that email in my description, and then once I get that up and running, you guys can shoot me an email if you got any questions about my channel or anything like that. All right, once again, I don't work for the Baltimore Ravens. I got a lot of Ravens gear, or I own a lot of Ravens, so I've been a fan for a long time. But I don't work for them. I'm not affiliated with them. So all this that I'm talking to you about is basically just trying to turn over a new leaf for somebody that you may be looking at in the draft. Maybe me and you have the same kind of opinions, if you will, of who we should pick. And if we do, what's your reason why you want to take one of these players? All right, so. And the next thing is, this is not in any way, shape, or form a ranking system. So as I name these players, I'm not saying this is the best of the best when it comes down to the linebackers. I'm just going to throw out the 5 names and tell you some of the stuff that they have that I liked, that I see if the Ravens take them, they'll basically, contribute early on in their career. All right, so first one is Jamin Davis from Kentucky. He's probably one of the most talked about linebackers outside of Xavier Collins. He's pretty talked about now because of his versatility and his coverage, his linebacker coverage skills. Some people were actually thinking about trying to convert him to safety. Because he's 6'4", 235. So obviously, that'd be kind of heavy for safety. But some people were looking at it because he had great intangibles when it comes down to, hey, these are some of the stuff that we need at the safety position. So I do know some teams that reached out to him already to talk to him. I do know some teams are definitely trying to draft him, and I hope Baltimore is one of them. The reason being is because he has great hands, great intensity, and he's gonna give you everything he got on every down. The one thing about it is people are saying that he can get tricked into believing they're running one particular play, and they can basically get him out of position. To me, that's coaching. That's coaching and exposure. To me. So as they get a little bit more coaching underneath his belt and you get exposed to a little bit more different type of offenses, I think he'll be all right. Because he played in the SEC. In the SEC, we don't have super crazy pass happy offenses. You have the anomalies. Every other year. Maybe like an Alabama quarterback will do really good, or a LSU quarterback, or even an Auburn Tiger offense. So basically, they'll have a decent passing game or a pretty good passing game, but that's not your norm. We basically have a good mix throughout the conference when it comes down to run and pass. All right, next on the list is Jabril Cox. Jabril Cox is 6'3", 232. He too has decent pass skills. He's a little bit on the slower end. I think he ran right around the 4.6, 4.7 range in the 40. He's not too great in run support, but he came from North Dakota State. He was playing North Dakota State for 3 years, and I don't know the conference history, but I do know the games that he was playing in. The teams were looking to more to air it out, so that's why he's pretty good at pass coverage and not so much of the run support. There's not super heavy run teams where he was playing in. However, when he came to LSU, he fit right in. As you look at his tape, his tape is pretty good. Basically saying, hey, look, the guy went from not having to do a lot of run support to being decent at it. So again, he's one of those guys that need a little bit more coaching, which like I said, there's nothing wrong with needing a little bit more coaching coming out in the draft because no particular player, not even the quarterbacks that are going to be taken in this draft, or straight up, players come out the wrapper and ready to go. They don't need to improve anything or learn anything and so forth. The NFL is totally different than college, especially based off the conference that you come from as well. So the conference that you come from could dictate, how easily you learn it or you're able to transition to the NFL. So, all right, next one is Chad Surratt from North Carolina. He's a 6'2", 229. Good tackler. Believe it or not, this guy played quarterback in high school, and then he came over to North Carolina. He was drafted to come and play quarterback based off the coaching changes. The coaching changes, and then basically said, hey, you know what? He was about to ready to transfer, and I was like, you know what? Let's give you a shot on defense. And come to find out, he excelled at it. He's a tackling machine. He still needs some development, just like the other guys. But the one thing that I do like about his tape is he cares about where the ball is. He has a knack for trying to go to where the ball is, and when he gets there, he's a sure tackler. All right, the next linebacker is one of my favorites, Xavier Collins. I knew it was only a matter of time before the rest of the country catches up to seeing this kid play. I've been following him for a while, and he's 6'4", 260. Reason why I've been following him for a while because I coach high school ball, and he's kind of one of the players that I want my players to emulate. This young man is straight committed to the defensive side of the ball. If you need him to play safety, if you need him to play special teams, he's cool with either one because he just wants to play ball and just wants to get better and better each and every day. To me, he plays like a Raven. He plays like a Raven already. I know that's becoming cliche, but it is true. It's 100% true. Any tape that you put on of this kid, you'll see what I'm talking about when it comes down to flying around the field, being connected, being a good leader, being a good communicator on the field in different package schemes and so forth. All right, the next one is Joseph Asai from Texas. He's 6'4", 256. He's great in pass rush. If we just want an edge rusher, just coming to give you that bend off the edge and get into the quarterback, this is the guy. He's naturally athletic. Hadn't played a ton of football, but what he has played, he's contributed to games. And he had a couple games to where he didn't look so hot, but you got to take the complete player into perspective. And as taking him as a complete player, he's definitely something to build off of what we have going on already in the pass rush ability and so forth within the Ravens organization. Other thing is he's a big hitter. That's the one thing is that we really going to need because if he can't get home or if it's not a pass play, he needs to be able to deliver a punch to hey, people start to second guess. Hey, look, when I get to the line of scrimmage and I'm going through A gap or B gap or even C gap, and he's out there and I know he can deliver a punch. I probably second guess myself when I come through. It was referred to back in the day. It's called tipping. If you know anything about football, you come through the whole tipping, and you trying to find out where that next hit is coming from. All right. So moving along to the safety spot. So a lot of mock drafts have Trayvon Morwig coming to us from I think he's from TCU. He's a great tackler. He can operate alone in run support, or either if you're going to put him as one high safety, which the Ravens rarely do when it comes down to one high safety. Uh, it just the schemes that we run when it comes down to that. I don't think too many times we're going to go one high safety, but if we do, and this kid is in the game, he won't be a matchup problem or a matchup nightmare for some folks. Now, the one thing that people are questioning about is he a liability when it comes down to double moves, because he's so he's instinctive about his what play it is, what gap they're going through, what kind of route they're about to run, and he's going to jump them. And like I said, in one of the linebackers, this comes with experience, this comes with coaching, this comes with film study, to where you can see, hey, okay, when am I going to be susceptible to a double move? If there's a possible double move, what would it be? Do I need to when is there a point to where the receiver and quarterback are going to kind of let me know or tip me off when the ball is coming to them? And I need to basically pay attention to those different things. And that's the stuff that he's going to learn, through some of the veterans that we have on our team. All right, the next one is one of my favorites, Jamar Johnson from Indiana. Somebody posted about him in one of the Ravens groups on Facebook. Kid is a flat out baller, just ball hawk safety is what we need, is what we've been talking about. We need to get that back, our back end, basically a ball hawk. His ball hawk ability is crazy because he has great hands. He can punch it out, and when he get it in his hand though, he has great return ability. That's the other thing. That's the one thing that you would want, because some defenders, they get a turnover, but they don't look to score. This guy, he get it in his hand. He almost looked like a receiver when he get it in his hand, and he's just juking around and trying to score touchdowns and so forth. The other thing that's good about him is he has great nickel play ability. So if we start out in our base package, and we need to shift a defensive front or a defensive scheme, once again, he's not out of position, because guess what? His guy has nickel playability. That is huge for you play the teams that are pass heavy. The LA Rams, the Kansas City Chiefs, so forth and so on. All right, the next one is Hamza Nasruddin from Florida State. He is 6'3", towards ACL in 2019, but this guy is still rated in the top 100 players, and he only played 2 games in 2020. So that is saying a whole lot about this kid when it comes down to what his range ability is and his instincts. The tape that I did watch of him, man, he's going to be a special player. I just think, if he get given a chance. Yeah, so Hamza Nasruddin is basically going to be a special player when it comes down to him getting healthy. Once he gets healthy, I think he'll be a special player to a particular defense. Am I saying he's a day one starter? No, I'm never going to say he's a day one starter, because, like I said, he did have that injury. So that injury alone can linger a little bit. And then also, I don't know if he ran the 40 or not, because that would have been a good indicator if he's actually healthy or not. So he has a lot of upside to him. So if there's no super definite need, but there's a player that you want to kind of develop and let him get a little bit healthy, get him some reps, he is definitely he definitely should be on the Ravens radar. So if you're not able to get one of the higher rated players, this guy is a good supplement to what you already have. The next one is James Wiggins. James Wiggins is from Cincinnati. Man has crazy good instincts, great tackler in space, does not get beat very often. He's another ball hawk. He's 4'4". He has 4'4" speed. Another thing that's good about it is he can blitz. So if need be, if we do call a safety blitz, I don't like it, but if we do call it, and we got a player like this in our particular arsenal, we can utilize this guy and not send our best player on a blitz. We can send a guy like this that can get home, and then when he gets home, he can particularly make that tackle. The other thing about is most of these guys are 6 feet or 6'1". Outside of Nasruddin. Nasruddin is 6'3". Everybody else is like 6 foot, 6'1". So when it comes down to the jump ball ability, these guys are there's not a lot of safeties out there that you're gonna get when it comes down to stopping the jump ball. However, these next two guys that I talk about, these next two guys have great instincts of disrupting playability. The first one is Richard LeCounte from Georgia. He has a great knack for the ball. I'm talking about undercutting, stopping the over routes, basically cutting out the post, intercepting post routes. The guy just flies around, and as you see, you look at any of his tape. Once again, he's one of those players that if need be, he can help supplement to what it is you're trying to build on defense. Now, I will tell you, with a little bit more coaching, not too much, a little bit more coaching, this guy's probably going to be a starter on somebody's defense. Hopefully, the Ravens will give him an honest look, and they give him an honest look. I think he can contribute early. He also plays special teams, so believe it or not, he had a role on special teams. So I know with the likelihood of us possibly losing Levine, if we lose him, I don't think we are, but if we do, we already have a replacement on our roster. Now this last guy, he does have great pass disruption abilities and so forth. But the reason why I put him on this list is because he's kind of that diamond in the rough. I know we like to think players are diamonds in the rough because they're not on Mel Kiper and Todd McShay's big board as being the best players available. But this guy, I think he's a diamond in the rough because he has the size, he has the speed, he has the agility. He just doesn't have the opportunity. So him playing at a smaller college and is not as much as exposure, that still doesn't take away from the player. So he's outstanding in run support. The guy's name is Quinterio Cole. He's 6'3" from Alcorn State. He's great in run support. One thing that I liked about his tape that I was looking at, his block shedding ability is underrated. That is huge, knowing that, hey, there's somebody coming to pull and get to the second level and block you as a safety, and you're able to shed that block and make those plays for your defense. That is huge when it comes down to next level type of playing at the NFL level. The other thing I like about him is he earned his position as the starting role as a safety. He was back-to-back all-conference. And he didn't even start out. He was another special team. He didn't even start out starting. He didn't even start out as a safety, but he worked his way to get to where he needed to be. And also seen his interview. Pretty humble guy. Doesn't think too highly of himself, but he knows that, hey, I can contribute to multiple teams and multiple schemes throughout the NFL. So if you're given an opportunity, I think he'll pounce on that opportunity and move forward with it. The last thing I'm going to talk about is with him. He's played the nickel, the free safety, and strong safety spot. That's huge too. I don't have exact numbers of what he played for each position, but I will tell you, having a player like that that's versatile, that could pay dividends to us, and we won't basically be at a disadvantage when it comes down to if this kid gets some reps or whatnot. We can kind of sub him in for multiple positions. Okay? All right, so once again, if you got any questions or anything like that about any opinions or whatever, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And thank y'all once again for the support. Peace.